This video contains spoilers for The Bad Batch. If you don't want to be spoiled, I advise that you turn away now. Otherwise, please enjoy.
I have been every voice.
You are the chosen one! Anakin! Anakin!
This is where the fun begins.
Inside your head.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we have even more leaks for The Bad Batch, we're going to be talking about a new series and more. As always my dear friends, before I dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new content. So as always, without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we've been talking a lot about The Bad Batch recently, specifically to do with Crosshair. Recently the Black Series action figure for him confirmed that he's going to turn Imperial, but now we have another leak that confirms his fate. In the visual preview for an official Bad Batch themed calendar, each member of Clone Force 99 has a quote attributed to them. Crosshair's one is very damning indeed, and it states, "Good soldiers follow orders." Now if you're familiar with the Clone Wars, you don't need me to tell you why this is so important, because it ties him directly to the question of inhibitor chips. Did Clone Force 99 have them? I personally think they don't, and I believe that Crosshair's going to become Imperial unwillingly. This leads us to the broader question of, did the Bad Batch execute Order 66? I personally believe that they didn't. Basing it solely on the trailer that we got, there are several ways that the Bad Batch could have disobeyed the order. Their mutated physiologies may have rendered them incompatible with the control chips, preventing them from getting the implants in the first place. What's more likely though is that they simply removed the chips before Order 66 was activated. The Bad Batch may have learnt about the late ARC Trooper 5's discovery of the chips through Captain Rex. Given their rebellious nature, they probably removed them in secret. As for their fifth member, and I'm talking about Echo, his chip may have been removed while he was a prisoner for the Techno Union. Ultimately, we will find out on May the 4th, which is just over 1 week away. I'm super excited and I hope you guys are too. So now my friends, we're going to move on to a completely different subject. Apparently it's being reported that there's going to be a Kylo Ren prequel with a younger actor. So a Kylo Ren prequel, or rather a Ben Solo prequel, is a show that not many people asked for. It's believed that Lucasfilm wants to use Luke's appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2 as a template for a show that's going to track his journeys from now until just before the sequels. A couple of weeks ago, it was reported that Lucasfilm had trademarked Skywalker Academy, and while it could just be for a new line of merch, a more exciting possibility is that it's going to be a new show. In a similar vein but slightly different, it's now believed that they're going to work on a Kylo Ren prequel which looks at the young life and training of Ben Solo. It states that it will aim to give a fresh perspective and backstory to the sequel trilogy fan favourite, if you can call him that. Importantly though, it's not going to feature Adam Driver, but instead a younger actor. It does make sense based on the age of Ben Solo at this point in the timeline, and even if we did get an older Kylo Ren, I don't think Adam Driver is willing to reprise the role. He's made no secret of his disappointment with the character and also the sequel trilogy on the whole. I remember reading an interview, I think it was in 2019, where he stated that at the Force Awakens premiere, he almost threw up when he saw himself on screen. Now I know this isn't based on the movie itself, but just like Harrison Ford in the 80s, he's never been too keen on his role in the franchise. But what do you guys think? Are you into the idea of a Kylo Ren prequel, or are you completely done with the character much like I am? I just don't see the need for this kind of show. I understand that a lot of people are big fans of Kylo and they want to see the rise of Ben Solo who becomes Kylo Ren, but honestly I'm not too interested. But as I say, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So now my dear Mandalorians, we're going to be talking about the next big cinematic release for Star Wars, which is of course Rogue Squadron by Patty Jenkins, and this one is coming in 2023. To be completely honest with you guys, I know we don't know anything about this project so far, but I've never seen such an unenthused reaction from the Star Wars fandom, even when The Rise of Skywalker was first announced. And now that I think of it, I've only personally mentioned it like once or twice on my channel, but it was never in depth. But now we're going to change that. We're going to talk about all of the possible time periods that the movie could be set in. Before we dive into that, we need to understand what the movie is going to be about. According to Kathleen Kennedy during Disney Investor Day, she stated this story will introduce a new generation of starfighter pilots as they earn their wings and risk their lives in a boundary-pushing, high-speed thrill ride. The legend of Rogue Squadron has been beloved by Star Wars fans and will move us into a future era of the galaxy. Now I know that future era of the galaxy is very malleable within the Star Wars universe, but let's go with the first possibility of it being after the rise of Skywalker. Much as The Force Awakens used the tactic of reintroducing the franchise through some familiar story beats, the future of Star Wars Rogue Squadron could be doing the exact same thing in its own story. It may finally give the world a post-war cleanup story, but without being saddled with a preset timeline to work within. This option is most likely the time period we'll see Rogue Squadron work working in. This would be very exciting, an open roadmap that would put the starfighters of the legendary Flying Force of the New Republic against those who remain after the Battle of Exegol. Another option is that it takes place between The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker. The logic behind this proposition is all based on Wedge Antilles. We saw him make a surprise cameo in The Rise of Skywalker, but the movie did not provide any explanation of why he rejoined the fray of combat. Rogue Squadron could be the perfect place to reintroduce Wedge and show why he's back for the cause. Other options include between The Mandalorian and The Force Awakens, between Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian, and of course before A New Hope. But what do you guys make of this? Are you looking forward to the upcoming film in 2023? Could you care less? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So finally guys, we're going to talk about how Mark Hamill's revealed that Chewbacca almost wore lederhosen. Details from George Lucas's original vision for Star Wars continue to come to light, but an old fact has resurfaced thanks to actor Mark Hamill on social media, a fact regarding Chewie's appearance. After actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt posted early concept art for Chewie, Hamill explained, fun fact, very early in the shooting of Star Wars, studio execs expressed deep concern that Chewie didn't wear any pants and suggested he wear a pair of lederhosen. That they would focus on this amidst all the grotesque elements in the script made us laugh and a bit worried. To be honest, apart from the clothing, I think the most freaky part of Chewie's concept art is actually his face. The concept art for what Wookiees almost look like is pretty terrifying. To be honest, in a very small way, the concept art for Chewie looks like what we did end up getting for Zeb in Rebels. And going back to the whole Chewie wearing clothes or not thing, he looks epic either way. I think with clothes he reminds me of all of the Wookiees we saw in Revenge of the Sith. I know they didn't specifically wear clothes, but they were much more kitted out than Chewie was. And you know, all of this is really fascinating. I love getting fun facts about Star Wars, especially from Mark Hamill. He seems like a really cool guy. And so now, my friends, I leave it over to you. What did you make of today's news update? If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, do all of that good stuff down below. And also, if you're feeling generous, please consider contributing to the channel by becoming a patron. We currently have 3 tiers. We have the $2 tier, the $10 and the $50. On Patreon, you get exclusive access to content that's not found on YouTube, and that includes my Forgotten Characters series, my Star Wars Explained videos, and much, much more. And with the $50 tier, you get to speak to me once a month, one-to-one, about anything you want, probably to do with Star Wars. Oh, and I almost forgot, I do have one more announcement. To celebrate Star Wars Day, brand new t-shirts are coming to my merch store. From now until the end of May, you get 20% off the entire store by using code SWM20. If you are or if you become a patron, you get a further 30% off, which means 50% off the entire store. With a whole new range of Mandalorian t-shirts and many more on the way, don't miss out. All you have to do is follow the link in the description and simply use the code SWM20 at checkout. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.